Good morning. Welcome to week 7, the second to last week of our semester, if you can believe it. I know everyone's excited about heading towards the finality of this course and the holiday season, and hopefully a nice break for all of you before we return to our studies in the new year. Well, this week in a lot of ways is sort of the culmination of all the work we've done the last several weeks. And what I mean by that is the main assignment this week is your argument essay, your completed argument essay. Now, you may have noticed that we have been building parts of that all along. You've written essentially an essay or a couple paragraphs on a pro and con of one of these questions that you have to consider. You drafted an introduction in the previous week, the week before last. And now you're going to kind of put that all together and revise your work that you've already created and add to it and complete the argumentative essay. Again, so the argumentative essay, you're going to demonstrate a logical and fair argument that answers one of the questions, and ideally it should be the same question you've been operating with all along. It certainly should be the one that you chose for your introduction. So should free speech be regulated on social media? Should health insurance be mandatory for all American citizens? And should Americans be required to complete some form of national service? Now, last week, you received the grading from your introduction. I highly encourage you to look at that and to take heed my suggestions and revise those introductory paragraphs as you start work on your full argumentative essay. Because of that, this week's discussion board, which is the first assignment you'll complete, deals exclusively with revision, right? Now, I want to be clear about the differences between revision and editing. Editing is probably what you think of when I say the word revision. And so editing means, you're cleaning up spelling errors and grammar errors and word choice errors and just kind of cleaning up what the essay looks like. Revising is a larger process than that. It is content-based, right? You're sort of changing your work, or you're honing in on your message a little bit better. For instance, several of you are writing about free speech and its regulations on social media, and some of you had some trouble coming up with a specific stance. In other words, this is a fairly yes or no question. Should free speech be regulated or should it not be? And regulation means basically rules placed upon what can be said, where it can be said, and who sees it, right? And so that's kind of the idea here, is you need to choose a side. Should it be regulated or should it not, right? And so for your revision process here, you're going to think about revising, and your initial post, you're going to answer these questions. What is your opinion on revision, and how often do you revise your work? And what are the dangers of not revising your work? All right. And if you would like, you could share an example here from your work this term, a piece of writing that you've actually revised. And then in response to your classmates on Sunday, you want to review their opinions on revision, and also the revised piece that they share. All right. So again, your initial post is due by Wednesday, and then those 2 class follow-ups are due by Sunday night. Now, the main crux of the argumentative essay, please click on this blue link here that says the complete instructions. That opens up this document for you. Please review this document. It very clearly outlines what you are to do, how you're to do it. You need 3 sources for this, all right? And those can be found through the library resources as well. And as you're going through, make sure you're revising, make sure you're reading, make sure you're understanding what exactly is that you're supposed to do. Avoid the first person writing. You want to write in the objective third person, so using not the pronoun I, right? And then the instructions can be found there. And I can hear that my child is awake, and so he's going to be very loud soon. So I'll wrap this up very quickly. If you all have questions this week, please do not hesitate to ask. Again, this is the second to last week. The one thing I would also tell you is I accept late work without penalty. Some of you have work that's out. The only penalty, I suppose, comes with those discussion boards. It's a rubric thing. I can't change it. There's a penalty for late submissions, but it's nothing. You should still submit those. If you have any work even from the beginning of the semester up till now, you should submit your work. Some points is better than none. Because next week's deadline, when I talk to you next Sunday, you only have till Friday of that following week to complete all your work, right? The one other thing I'll say is that because of what I just said, I would rather you take longer on this essay if you need it, right? So yes, it's due Sunday, and it would be beneficial for you to turn it in Sunday. That way I can give you feedback in case you need some drastic changes at the end. But if you get to Sunday and you're hastily putting together an argument essay, I would rather you wait. I would rather you take it into next week and submit it when you're ready. All right. So that's all for this week. If you have questions, do not hesitate to email me. Take care.